is Jessica Fung at Project Blue, sharing another short video for our clients and partners with insights from our consulting work. In the critical mineral space, we are seeing more research projects mobilized after the G7 meeting back in June this year, where the G7 Critical Minerals Resilience and Production Alliance was established. And definitely, the word that we have been hearing more and more is cooperation. Cooperation. The concept is not new, of course. Interagency cooperation, regional cooperation, international cooperation. We hear it at conferences, forums, discussion groups all over the world. But given the momentum in projects now, you get the sense that there is a greater urgency than even 12 months ago. And what we notice in our work is that deeper questions are being asked, not just to understand markets. We've gone beyond kind of the education period, but now we're really talking about how to accelerate the mobilization of capital and why. Because ultimately, in our view, building critical mineral supply chains is about geoeconomic influence. Geoeconomic influence doesn't show up in GDP, at least not right away. And honestly, for the G7, which represents maybe 40% of GDP, these countries consume on average maybe 15 to 20% of critical minerals. I mean, the range can be huge, of course. For some critical minerals like rare earths, some of the rare earths and gallium, the G7 consumes about 5% of global demand. Other ones like tungsten and niobium and tin is closer to about 1/3 of global consumption is within the G7. So there is quite a range, but it's certainly nowhere close to the GDP that it represents, but that's not the point. Geoeconomic influence does show up in trade flows, and this is what is key to know, and this is what is key for our clients to be looking at. It's the flow of goods, of course, especially things like semiconductors and solar panels, electric vehicles, but importantly, it's also capital flows. Now, the dissection of critical mineral trade flows has been going on for some time now. We have certainly published a lot on it over the last few years. And we've also done a number of deep dive projects as well. We've looked at dependencies within these trade flows. We've looked at bottlenecks. We've looked at ownership along various supply chains. But the problem is now that these trade flows today that we are looking at and analyzing, they're only showing up as a result of capital flows that happened many years before. And so for the G7, the idea of cooperation, it goes across 6 key pillars, right, which they put out in the publication. There's industrial cooperation, financing, which is what we're focused on, market structuring, transparency and traceability, stockpiling, and recycling. Now, these sort of pillars are meant to accelerate, again, the flow of capital, because that's what drives future supply chains, and that's what contributes to geoeconomic influence in the future. Also, this idea that this cooperation should lead to better competitiveness, right? Because it's not just about one country trying to do it all. Cooperation means there should be better competitiveness within these supply chains and better resilience. And assessing this competitiveness and resilience is an area where we have been doing quite a bit of work lately, which has, caused me to sort of put this video out there. We've done it across rare earths, we've done it in battery raw materials, and we've also done it more in high purity technology materials. As an example, for a government finance agency, who are looking across a portfolio of potential projects to support, they want to know which ones could actually make it, which ones are resilient enough to make it for the long term. And so we have looked at things across a number of projects like technical risk based on the resource type, the commercial risk based on the customer acceptance of certain product specifications, and things like existing supply chain integration, and the strategic influence in the market of these supply chains as well. And all we do is we give our clients a few more data points within these very nuanced markets to share with their partners, to share with their stakeholders, as these cooperation and capital deployment efforts continue. So it's been a lot of fun. We think it will continue over the next little while. Thank you for listening, and any questions, please reach out.